Okay, guys, here we are back for lead generation strategy part 4. Today we are going to be talking about start getting into traffic strategies. Now, to be able to build a audience or build a list, we're going to need traffic. Not only will we need the landing pages or the squeeze pages like we talked about in part 1, 2, and 3, but we're also going to need traffic. If you don't have any traffic, you're not going to have any audience. So we're going to talk about the first part of that today, and today will be a little bit about free strategies. Now there's different ways you can do this, free strategies and paid strategies. Now when you mention free strategies, it's not really free, as it's free as far as money wise is concerned, but not so much free because you're going to be using your time, and time is valuable. So either way, it's going to cost something, whether you want to use time or you want to use money. I'm more on the paid. I prefer more of the paid traffic. It's faster, it's quicker. But if you're not in the position, you don't have the budget to use the paid version, you can certainly use the free version. It's going to take you a little bit more time to build up. So let's dive into that, and let's get started. All right, here we are. Now, as I mentioned in the LGS traffic strategies, we have paid and we have free traffic options. The paid option is going to be much faster. You pay for your traffic, put your links in there, and boom, your traffic is on its way. Free traffic is a little bit more work. Obviously, you don't pay any money, but you pay with time. Put more work into it, but you still get traffic to your squeeze page or your website or wherever you're trying to send your traffic to. It just takes a little more time and a little bit more work. Okay, here are some free traffic strategies. First thing is SEO, search engine optimization. We'll talk a little bit more about that. It's the most effective way for sending traffic to your website or your blog. This is a long-term strategy, but not so much for the short bursts of traffic for squeeze pages. And just for generating traffic in a quick way, when sometimes we have promotions that we're doing that are limited, just for a few days, and this SEO is not going to be the best way for that. This is more for the long-term marathon type of strategy. Social media marketing, as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the most effective ways to get traffic to a squeeze page. There's attraction marketing in social media, which builds an audience in groups. You can also build them in fan pages, and again, we'll cover that a little bit later. There's also blog and YouTube commenting. I'm assuming that you've done this already, and if not, you'll have a chance in a minute. Just leave me a comment below in the comment section, and you'll see what that's all about. When by YouTube commenting or blog commenting, same concept with blogs. You would post a comment. Now, how that just to give you an idea of how that's effective. For instance, if you're just starting out your YouTube channel and you have a friend or an acquaintance that that has a much bigger YouTube channel, and he's posted a few videos on there that you really like, you can make a comment on that, and if you post a really interesting comment, that may draw some of that traffic from that page, that some of those people may see your comment and say, hey, I thought that was a pretty interesting comment. Let me go ahead and check out what Shan has on his channel. Or for instance, blog in that matter, same case, same thing. If you have a just starting out a website, and you see a website that has a lot more traffic, something interesting, you may post a comment on there, a really interesting comment. Some of those people may say, well, in the same situation, that is an interesting comment. Let me go and check out that person's blog. So that's how that would work. Expert interviews, one of my favorite ways. Interviews of experts in your niche make a great way to generate traffic for original content that people like to read, listen, or watch. These days, video interviews are the way to go. Some people still, some people use audio, but more often than not, you're going to see people doing video interviews. Now, a great way that, this is a really easy and good way to generate really high quality content if you're not an authority figure yet. You can go and just introduce yourself to an expert in your niche, and just let them know, hey, I wanted to, do an interview with you and ask you some questions. If you have 5 or 10 minutes out of your day, I would love to do an interview with you. And of course, I would send you the video. You can use that as you wish. And I was going to, post it on my YouTube channel, or, your website, or whatever you're going to do with it. That would be a great way to generate some high quality content. Link exchanges, there was a time where link exchanges were working. They were working really good to drive traffic, actually. More and more that people have used it and tried to trick the system, link exchanges are next to useless these days. Not very, not used very much at all. And if they do, it's not very effective anymore. Anyway, whenever you try to trick the system, it's not going to work out. Eventually, they're going to figure it out and stop that. But anyway, SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's the process of getting traffic for free from organic or editorial or natural search results on search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, or YouTube. Obviously, most people know that Google and Yahoo are, one and the same. Really, now we'll talk about a little bit more about that, about Google Plus later. But so there's different ways to get good at SEO. Now, I guess SEO can be a solid way to generate traffic. You can either go and take some courses on SEO. There are a lot of courses out there, really good ones. If you're interested, just message me. I'll send you in the direction of some high quality SEO training. You can also use software on your website to help, just guide you through the process of making sure your post on your website is optimized for the search engines. I'm not, I don't do a lot of SEO, so I actually have some software on my website that helps guide me through that process of what I need. If I need a H1 tag here, H2 tag, or I may need to bold something in this section, or my sentence may be too long in this. There's software that can help you with that and make sure your post is optimized for the search engines. And then, of course, we got the different social media platforms that are used. Obviously, we know Facebook is king. There's the personal profile, the fan page, or groups that you can use in Facebook. Not so much with the personal profiles. So a lot of people use it, but more so we use fan pages. You can also use your fan page for advertising with Facebook. And then, of course, groups. Groups have been a big thing recently within the last couple of years. That's exploded, and people have really started to tie into groups. It's a great way to, bring your audience together and provide value to your audience. Twitter. I myself am not a big Twitter guy, but there are people out there that use Twitter that can generate traffic with their tweets, and of course you can provide links in your tweets, and then of course you can use images and follow and try to keep up with influencers, and maybe get involved with an influencer to help drive traffic to your Twitter page. Instagram, obviously, we know that's one and the same with Facebook. They own, not one, I shouldn't say one and the same, but Facebook owns Instagram. It's a huge platform. People are much more interactive, or they engage more on Instagram than they do on Facebook. The challenge with that is the only place you can put a link is in the bio. Sorry, can't even speak today. Images, you can place your images and then post, remarks on there, comments. People follow you, you follow them back. And then, of course, you can, like I mentioned, you can comment on other people's images. And then, like I mentioned just a second ago, following. And this is one of the big things on Instagram is finding influencers. You can actually pay an influencer to to tag your image and maybe help you build your page. There's ways that and training out there that you can take advantage of to get with an influencer to help build your Instagram page. And then, of course, Pinterest. This is one of my more other than Facebook and all that. Pinterest is one of my favorite platforms to use. The reason for that is that when you post an image, you post it in what's called a pin. Now, it's just basically making a post, but they call it a pin on Pinterest. And the nice thing about that is in your comment, right below your image, you can actually put a link in every single one of your images on one of your posts. So that what that does, it drives that people right back to your website. Or, for instance, you put a pin up, and you can drive them to your YouTube channel if you wanted to. Also, the comments, boards, group boards, messages, followers. Now, on Pinterest, you create boards and you put your pins in the board. Now, big channels, when you get a lot of followers, there's such thing as group boards. And once you get your Pinterest platform to where you have enough followers, you can join group boards, and that's when the traffic really starts to ramp up. And then when you get enough followers on your Pinterest platform, you'll get people asking you to, join up in their group board. And when you put a pin, one of your images in their group board, all those other people see it, and they get into your comment and your link, and that drives them back to your page. Then, of course, Snapchat, you got videos, you get influencers in with them as well. I don't know a whole lot about Snapchat, never followed Snapchat too much, but I know that a lot of people use it. Google Plus, images, links, and posts are indexed immediately. That is something that a lot of people may take for granted. Google Plus, anytime you do anything with YouTube or your website and your blog, always put it on Google Plus, and what will happen is Google will index that immediately, which will link back to your YouTube channel or your blog. So that's a big one. I definitely use Google Plus for all of that as well. And like I put down there, SEO. It optimizes your all of your your posts and your videos from YouTube. And then, of course, Facebook. We'll talk a little bit more about Facebook, just because Facebook is king. Organic traffic, organic reach is a number of people who see your content without paid distribution. Facebook was a great way for organic traffic before, but Facebook, I shouldn't say dead, but it's not as busy as it used to be. It's not as the engagement isn't as high as it used to be. There's a lot of restrictions, and it's not as good as what it used to be. I should just leave it at that. Attraction marketing means that you simply taking action through delivering value to your followers, so they seek you out, not the other way around. And if you're interested in that, I have some training on that as well. A Facebook fan page, unless you've been sleeping under a rock, that there have been a lot of changes with Facebook fan pages. I mean, it's difficult to build fan pages for free like it used to be anymore. And that's kind of what I meant by Facebook, is that it's not dead. I shouldn't say it's dead, but it's definitely not as engaging. Not as many people see your posts as they used to. Your fan pages are much more difficult to build for free than what you used to be able to. Now, if you want to build a fan page, I mean, you really gotta use paid traffic, and it's really not even unless you have a few million people on your fan page, or a 500,000 people on your fan page. You're not going to get much out of a fan page unless you're using it for advertising. Facebook groups, big. A lot of people get a lot of engagement from your groups. You can post a lot of value in there. There's a lot of interaction, a lot more interaction, because these people know, like, and trust you in there. That's the big one. So that kind of wraps up the free traffic topic for this, part 4. I'm gonna get into paid traffic if you're interested in that. I would highly recommend it. That's something that I'm passionate about, paid traffic, and it'll drive traffic to your squeeze pages, landing pages a lot faster than using the free methods. Like I said, although they work, I'm a big fan of paid traffic. And if you're looking for a boost in traffic to any of your targets, your blog, your YouTube channel, or your whatever you're looking to do, your target. So it's a great way to drive traffic, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in part 5. I hope you stay tuned. Check out part 5. Come back and see us. And if you have any questions before I go, make sure post a comment below. I'll promise to get back to you. Or you can also email me at Shann, SHANN, at shanchai.com. I hope you're having a great day, and we will talk soon.